What is up, guys? It's your boy Richard Catholomew, and today we are going to be showcasing the legendary and exotic weapons that are likely to become meta as soon as the Renegades expansion launches in Destiny 2. So you're going to want to go and try to acquire these weapons if you don't have them, check your vaults if you do have them. Great idea to infuse them up, grab the catalyst, and get them ready to use in that new DLC. Now, why is that? How do I know these weapons are going to be meta? Well, Bungie recently released a massive article detailing a bunch of buffs and nerfs to weapons and weapon perks coming to Destiny 2 with Renegades. So in this video, we're focusing on the biggest winners. What are the weapons purely benefiting and getting a lot better as soon as that new DLC drops? Well, let's get started. Alright, now first of all, let's talk about the legendary weapons. Honestly, there is really not a lot of massive buffs to legendary weapons, especially PvE, which is going to be our focus for this video, except for one, and that is going to be shotguns. So as you guys can see right here, literally all of the pellet shotguns in Destiny 2 are getting a buff. Rapid fires are getting a PvE damage scaler and more ammo from bricks. Lightweights, precisions, and aggressives are all getting PvE damage boosts. So if you have like a pet favorite shotgun god roll that you just really like, it's getting considerably better. Now, I'm not sure if any of these damage increases is going to be enough to make shotguns the new best DPS option, you know what I mean? But because every shotgun is getting outright better, the shotguns that are already good are gonna be insane. So stuff like, for example, this Perfect Paradox. It's a rapid fire frame, it's gonna be doing more damage, getting more consistent ammo, and this has the role of Pugilist plus 1-2 punch. And then of course with the insane Cast No Shadows origin trait, this is already something I personally use on multiple melee builds if I need a 1-2 punch shotgun, because again, that origin trait is so good. Same goes for this Aikilos craftable shotgun. I still use it to this day for certain melee builds. And so these type of shotguns, right, ones you're already using that are already good, that already have a place in the meta, now they just straight up are better in the Renegades expansion. So definitely pay attention to those. Like again, not sure if you're gonna have to go and get rapid fire shotguns with like DPS oriented rolls. I don't think it's gonna necessarily benefit them that much, but the ones that already are seeing play are just straight up getting better. So definitely pay attention to those. Now, moving on from there, the one other thing that's going to impact legendary weapons certainly is this buff to Rampage. That's right, the OG damage increasing perk is getting a big change. Now it only loses 1 stack of the damage buff when the timer expires. And they say, yes, this includes Huckleberry. I wish they would have worded this better, because like, is it permanent? Is it 1 stack at a time? I'm pretty sure this means 1 stack at a time. So you have your Rampage timer. If you get that up to Rampage times 3, which is around a 30% damage bonus, now when that timer expires, it doesn't go away entirely, it goes down to times 2. And then you have a whole new timer, and when that expires, it goes down to times 1. And then you have a whole new timer, and finally when that expires, it'll go away. And so you're going to be able to keep the Rampage perk up way longer than you are right now. And so any legendary weapon with the Rampage perk, you know, like this Hammerhead crazy roll with Rampage and Onslaught, like all of these rolls are just straight up getting better. This Chroma Rush here with Subsistence Rampage, because Rampage is just going to be way more consistent and will way more often provide you with a significant damage increase. Alright, but moving on from there, guys, let's get to the exotic weapons. There's actually a ton of buffs to exotic weapons. Here again are the biggest winners. First and foremost, it's got to be the Ace of Spades. So, what are they doing to it? Well, as you can see right here, it's just going to do more damage. Memento Mori was buffed significantly in PvE, and the Firefly damage is also massively increased from 65 max to 100, so almost doubling it there. Minimum 0 damage is now 20, and they've increased the radius. Dude, this Firefly is going to be like setting off a nuclear bomb in PvE. If you're getting consistent headshots, like, my goodness, the Ace of Spades is going to be nuking every red bar around it. Remember, it also gets that 40% exotic primary damage boost. Like, this thing could be cooking next season. Now, after that, the next one I want to talk about is another hand cannon, the Hawkmoon. So what are they doing here? Well, as you can see, it will now get a PvE damage bonus per stack of paracausal charge. Remember, you gain a stack when you get a precision hit or a final blow, and this will max out at a 70% damage boost at ×8 paracausal charge. It does not include the final paracausal shot. So why I'm excited about this is that it's straight up a significant increase to DPS output, and Bungie recently made the Hawkmoon finally work with the Lucky Pants exotic legs for the Hunter, which massively boosts the damage of hand cannons. So I think for the longest time, paracausal shot was just not impacted by the Lucky Pants. Now it is. I think it gets like a 50% damage bonus or something, but now you're getting another potentially 70% damage bonus leading up to that paracausal shot. So again, like, all of that stacking with the Lucky Pants, the Hawkmoon could actually end up doing a ton of damage. That combo specifically is why I'm keeping an eye on it. Moving on from there, guys, the next exotic getting a big buff is actually going to be the Symmetry exotic scout rifle. This thing sees basically no play, but here's what they're doing to it. It's now going to build bolt charge with greater than 1 stack of dynamic charge in the alt fire mode, and it grants more stacks at ×10 dynamic charge, and you can now actually spend bolt charge with greater than 1 stack of dynamic charge in the alt fire mode. So why I'm excited about this is that there's almost no way, there might actually be no way in the game to discharge bolt charge via a weapon other than with the Storm's Keep aspect for the Titan, except now for the Symmetry. So you're going to be able to build up bolt charge and then with the Symmetry without the Storm's Keep, discharge it. And so for other builds, for example, like the Warlock, really good at building up bolt charge, but can't really expel it unless they're throwing their abilities, which is fine, but sometimes you want to save your abilities to get bolt charge. And so the Symmetry is just going to give those like arc builds a way to discharge the bolt charge by shooting a target, and then they can like throw their grenades, use their abilities to ramp back up in bolt charge. And so it might actually have a place as like a bolt charge trigger, a bolt charge discharger for certain arc builds. That's why I'm kind of excited about it. But moving on from there, guys, the next exotic we're looking at is the Still Hunt exotic sniper rifle. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. It's getting its damage increased by 40% when you are specifically using it with the Celestial Nighthawk exotic helmet for the Hunter. Celestial Nighthawk, of course, increasing your golden gun damage and making it just 1 Omega shot, and the Still Hunt being like a golden gun sniper rifle. The fact that those actually work together is really awesome. We were around, or at least I was around, when the Still Hunt was cooking against, you know, the Witness in the Edge of Salvation raid, so much so that Bungie had to nerf the Still Hunt. So this is kind of a reversal of that nerf, and again, when it was operating at full capacity, it was absolutely meta. Like, it was the top DPS option in the game. So the fact that it's getting a 40% damage buff, yeah, it might be back in a big way next season. Definitely not only, you know, go and get a Still Hunt if you don't have one, but make sure you've got a good Celestial Nighthawk, one with a big super spike to do more damage. All right, moving on from there, guys. we actually have another exotic sniper rifle that might become part of the DPS meta, and that's the Izanagi's Burden. So, what they're doing is that the special reload once again scales with reload speed stat. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes a huge difference with the Burden because all of its damage comes from doing the special reload and firing out an omega powerful shot. And the fact that now you can be standing behind a rally barricade, for example, which massively increases your reload stat with all your weapons, means that you're going to be able to load that Omega Izzy shot way faster. And so you could have like the Izzy swap meta reappear, and you're going to be, again, getting that reload animation off incredibly fast. Again, one to watch out for the DPS meta. Now, moving on from there, guys, the next weapon we're looking at is the Black Talon exotic sword. So yeah, again, this has seen no play pretty much for a very long time, but what is Bungie doing? Well, heavy attacks, which remember are the ranged seeking heavy attacks, well, they now suppress targets on hits. If the target's already suppressed, it spreads to nearby targets. And for the catalyst, it gives a 10% damage boost per void debuff. So one heavy attack, you suppress the target that's already 10% more damage, and they've reduced the heavy attack cost going down to 3 from currently 4, and they've added the Duelist Trance perk, and they've increased max ammo reserve. So lots of buffs, but why I'm excited for this is simply that, you know, being able to heavy attack and instantly suppress. You don't have to build anything up, you don't have to like charge anything up, it's just heavy attack, which is going to be a cheaper, lower ammo costing heavy attack, by the way, and then you suppress the target. Guys, suppressing targets is basically like blinding them. Like, they are out of the fight. If they're suppressed, those targets are out of the fight. So I'm just envisioning whipping out the Black Talon, doing a few of those, you know, tracking heavy shots, and then just suppressing the crap out of everything in front of you. You have so many more powerful enemies, you know, that are still going to be impacted by this suppression, and that is just going to take a lot of pressure on you. So the Black Talon just became potentially like the best disorienting grenade launcher in the entire game, the best flashbang grenade in the entire game. Every heavy attack is automatically suppressing, and then on top of that you get all these other buffs as well. Could actually be one to watch out for, guys. Now, moving on from there, the last exotic we're going to look at here is a very new one. It's the Wolfsbane exotic. It says sword, but we all know it's an axe, okay? But the reason this is here is that the Wolfsbane is almost good enough. Like, I went out and with a full team using Wolfsbane, I think one guy was using tractor cannon, but still, everyone else was using Wolfsbane. We one phase killed the Desert Perpetual raid boss. Now, other weapons can do that, and other weapons can do it better and faster with a bit more leeway, but still, like, that's pretty impressive DPS. So the fact that Wolfsbane is being buffed, like, literally across the board, more damage from light attack, right? More damage from the Swarmnado, more damage resistance while you're using it. Like, it is getting better in really every single way, and so again, it's like almost good enough, and I think this buff might put it over the edge into actually being quite good. Definitely, again, one to watch out for. If you haven't done the Wolfsbane like exotic catalyst stuff, you know, try to get that done before Renegades in case it is meta. You don't want to be having to do it like when new content is out. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.